Hey, welcome back to English with Kate. It's Kohonor here, your internet bestie. And today we're diving into something that honestly hit me like truck last week. The topic is the quiet panic of realizing you're not special anymore. Yeah, that moment when you suddenly realize, oh wow, I'm not the chosen one, I'm not Harry Potter. I'm just that person who forgot to take the laundry out of the washing machine. Oh, and quick heads up, if you want to actually practice your English while listening, I made you a free little PDF guide for this episode. It's got the script, the key takeaways, and some grammar comprehension exercises. So you don't just vibe, you actually learn stuff. You can grab it after the episode. So grab your snacks, grab your emotional support water bottle, and let's cry and laugh about it together. Okay, so picture this little Kohonor in school being told things like, oh my god, you're so smart, or you're gonna do big things one day, or let's say you're talented, gifted, amazing. And of course, I believed it. I was like, yes, correct, I am different. Probably destined for greatness, probably the main character. But fast forward to adulthood, and what do I have? A grocery store loyalty card and two unread emails from my dentist. That's it. Nobody claps for me when I do laundry. Nobody says, wow, you're gifted when I make pasta without burning it. The applause is gone. And it leaves you sitting there quietly panicking, like, wait, what happened? Wasn't I supposed to be special? So, this is what I call the quiet panic. It's not dramatic. You're not screaming into a pillow. It's more subtle. You're just brushing your teeth, staring at your reflection, and suddenly your brain whispers, hey, remember when you were the talented one? Yeah, what happened to that? And then you're like, wow, thank you, brain. Very cool. Exactly the pep talk I needed before bed. And social media makes it 10 times worse because you scroll, you see someone your age launching a fashion brand, someone else traveling through Europe, someone else getting married in Italy, and you're like, cool, I just learned how to cook rice properly. That's my big achievement. Quiet panic, silent crisis, but with memes. Now, let's pause and talk about why this happens. Because being gifted as a kid feels like a compliment, but honestly, it's low key a curse. Here's why. When adults said you're special, what they really mean is we expect greatness from you forever. Boom. Invisible pressure backpack. You carry it everywhere. And then when adulthood rolls in and you realize you're just normal, that backpack feels like it's full of bricks. Because suddenly, being average feels like you failed some secret mission you didn't even sign up for. Nobody tells you that just because you were the smart one in year three doesn't mean you'll grow up to be Beyonce or Bill Gates. I wish they had put a warning label on that. All right, let's rip the band aid off. Here are the uncomfortable truths that I've been slowly realizing, and yes, they sting. So, the truth number one, most gifted kids weren't actually gifted. Listen, I'm dragging myself here too. We weren't Einstein. We were just a little ahead of the pack. Maybe you could read big books when others were still stuck on the alphabet, or maybe your stick figures had fingers. Cool. That doesn't mean you were destined to solve world hunger. It just means you were the tallest kid in kindergarten and eventually everyone else caught up. So, truth number two, environment makes you special, not just talent. When you are in a small classroom, being the best feels huge. But step into the real world, suddenly you're surrounded by 100 other best kids. It's like being the tallest in your family, then meeting actual basketball players. Humbling. So, truth number three, the internet ruined specialness. Back in the day, if you could sing in your small town, you were basically a local celebrity. Now, you post a TikTok and 12-year-old in another country casually out sings you while playing the piano upside down. And the algorithm doesn't care. Specialness just doesn't survive the internet. So, truth number four, statistically, being average is normal. This one is brutal. Most people are average because that's literally what average means. But since we grew up hearing you're one in a million, realizing you're actually 1 in 7 billion feels like failure. But here's the twist, being average isn't tragic. It just feels tragic because we thought would be the exception. So, what happens next? Adulthood becomes this slow, awkward funeral for your ego. You're letting go of the fantasy that you'd be extraordinary. You realize you're not the main character, your background character number 37 who pays for Netflix and eats chips at 2 a.m. It hurts. Legitimately, it's grief. You're mourning the person you thought you'd become. But here's where it flips. Maybe being average isn't actually a curse. Here's my spicy hot take. Being average is actually freeing. When you're special, people expect things. You have to prove yourself, stay impressive, always be on stage. It's exhausting. But if you're average, nobody's watching, nobody cares if you fail. You can live in ugly pajamas, eat cereal for dinner, and quit hobbies without the guilt. You're free. And honestly, that kind of freedom is underrated. Okay, so after all this deep, soul crushing honesty about not being special, I realized something. Being average is actually kind of hilarious. Here are some funny truths I've noticed. For example, nobody's paying attention. You know that feeling when you walk into a room and think, oh my god, everyone's staring at me. They can tell I'm awkward. They know my shirt has a weird wrinkle. They're judging me. Yeah, no. Newsflash, everyone else is too busy panicking about themselves. It's like everyone's living inside their own personal reality show where they're the main character and the rest of us are extras. So, while you're worried about how you look walking across the cafe, that person over there is panicking because they think their laugh sounds weird. The truth, nobody cares. And once you realize that, life gets so much lighter. So, what else? Boring is amazing. Teenage me thought staying home on a Friday night was the ultimate tragedy. Like if you weren't out at a party or at least pretending to have plans, your life was over. But now, adult me thinks staying home on a Friday night is basically a 5-star hotel experience. Pajamas, snacks, Netflix, bed by 11. That's not boring, that's luxury. The funny thing is, when you're young, average feels like the worst insult. But when you're older, Average Friday nights are basically the dream. Nobody's texting me, great. That means I don't have to put on real pants. And special doesn't mean happy. We're all out here crying because we're normal. But if you look at celebrities, literally the most special people alive, half of them are like, I wish I could just go to Target in peace. Some of them are so special they can't even order a coffee without paparazzi taking 400 pictures. Meanwhile, we're sad because we can walk into a coffee shop and nobody notices us. The irony is hilarious. Like, the thing we think is ruining our lives, being normal, is the exact thing celebrities are praying for. So maybe average isn't a curse, maybe it's freedom. So maybe we've been defining special wrong this whole time. Maybe it's not about being famous or world changing, maybe it's smaller. Being the friend who picks up the phone at 2 a.m., making your little brother laugh until he wheezes, or saying thank you and actually meaning it. No spotlight, no medals, but it still matters. So here's my unpopular opinion. Chasing special ruins your life, accepting average saves it. It's like swimming. If you fight to float higher, you sink, but if you relax, you actually float. Maybe a dolphin is just learning how to float. So, yeah, the panic is real, the grief is real, that quiet moment of, oh, I'm not special anymore, is real. But normal doesn't mean meaningless. Maybe the real trick is to stop standing out and start standing with your people, with yourself. Because being average, it's secretly special. Okay, besties, before we wrap this up, let's do a quick vocab check because I realized I just dropped some kind of bougie, high level English words in here, and I don't want you sitting there like, huh, what did you just say? So let's break them down. Here are 10 advanced words from today's episode. Our first word is compliment. Compliment. It's a nice thing someone says about you. For example, when my teacher said I was talented, it felt like the best compliment ever. Number two, invisible. Invisible. It's something you can't see. For example, being called gifted as a kid felt like carrying an invisible backpack of pressure. Humbling. Humbling. It's when something makes you realize you're not as special or powerful as you thought. For example, meeting people smarter than me was a humbling experience. Casually. Casually. It's doing something in a relaxed or effortless way. For example, that kid casually solved a Rubik's Cube while I was still struggling with my shoelaces. Statistically. Statistically. It means according to numbers and data, not feelings. For example, statistically, most people are average, and that's just math. Algorithm. Algorithm. It's a set of rules computers use to decide what you see online. Basically, the boss of internet. For example, the TikTok algorithm decided to show me 10 cat videos in a row. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. It means really, really unusual or amazing. For example, as a kid, I thought I'd grow up to do something extraordinary, like invent a teleportation machine. Grief. Grief. It's deep sadness, usually when you lose something or someone. For example, realizing I'm not special anymore felt like grief for my old dreams. Underrated. Underrated. It means not valued as much as it should be. For example, staying home on a Friday night is totally underrated. And the last word is irony. Irony. It's when the opposite of what you expect happens, often in a funny or strange way. For example, the irony is that celebrities want to be normal while we cry because we are normal. Okay, besties. That's a wrap on today's emotional roller coaster of an episode. We talked about the gifted kid identity crisis, why being average is secretly amazing, and how the internet basically destroyed specialness. Honestly, I feel like I just had group therapy with you all. Before I go, don't forget, I put together a PDF guide for this episode. It's got the whole script, some key takeaways, so you don't forget my genius hot takes, plus grammar and comprehension exercises to actually help you practice English with real life, messy, unfiltered topics like this one. So grab it, practice a little, and maybe cry a little, but in English. I'll see you next time on English with Kay. Until then, stay average, stay iconic. Bye!
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us create more great content.